Buckle up because today we're talking about one of the most jaw-dropping finds in coin collecting history, the 2005 D Mint Mark I dime. Yeah, I know, it sounds like a typical dime, right? Maybe you've got a few of these hanging around in your pocket change. But what if I told you that one of these little guys could be worth a whopping $1.2 million? You heard that right. Now, I can already hear some of you laughing, saying, "Come on, there's no way that's true." Well, trust me, this dime is the real deal, and today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this elusive coin. We'll dive into why it's worth so much, how to spot it, and how you can avoid missing out on your own lucky find. By the end of this video, you might be digging through your old coins with a little more excitement. So, stick around. But before we jump into all of that, let me take you back for a second with a little story. I remember when I first started collecting coins. I used to think, hey, I'm just going to grab a jar, toss some pennies and dimes in there, and maybe I'll get a cool piece from the 1800s or something. Little did I know, it wasn't about just any coin. It was about knowing what to look for. One day, I found a coin that looked a bit different from the rest. I was excited but didn't know much about it. I took it to a coin shop, and the dealer laughed at me. He thought I was wasting his time. He said, "Kid, that's just a regular dime." But, spoiler alert, I later found out that it was actually worth a lot more than I expected. So trust me, you don't want to make the same mistakes I did. Stick with me, and I'll make sure you know how to spot the gold mine. Alright, let's get into the good stuff. First, let's address the elephant in the room. The 2005 D Mint Mark I dime that can sell for over $1.2 million is not your average dime. It's got some serious rarity and history behind it. So what makes this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. Here's the deal. This dime wasn't just stamped like every other dime at the Denver Mint. What happened with this coin is a classic minting error. This dime, which was supposed to have a clean strike with a perfect design, ended up being minted with a misplaced or misaligned die, making the images on the coin a little off-center. In some cases, the error was so extreme that parts of the design were barely visible. Sounds like a mistake, right? Well, it turns out that mistakes in the world of coins are often worth a whole lot of money. It's not just any error though. This one has a specific twist. Because of the way the minting process works, errors like this aren't always easy to find. The dimes that slipped through the cracks were sold and distributed among the general public, and nobody thought anything of them until much later. So to find one today, especially in great condition, is like finding a needle in a haystack. If you happen to find one of these dimes, you'll want to make sure it's in mint condition, pun intended. The more pristine it is, the more cash it can fetch. I'm talking about a $1.2 million price tag if you've got one of the rare versions of this coin. That's life-changing money right there. But finding these rare dimes isn't as easy as flipping over your change in your pocket. So, what exactly are you looking for? Well, the good news is that you don't have to spend years searching through rolls of dimes. Most of the errors have already been found, and the surviving coins are now in collectors' hands or, hopefully, in some coin shops. However, there's still hope. You never know when you might stumble across one in a coin roll, a random yard sale, or from an old collection passed down to you. Now, let's talk about the characteristics of the 2005 D Mint Mark I dime that make it stand out. First off, we're talking about the mint mark itself. The D represents the Denver Mint, which is where this dime was struck. But what makes it so valuable is the minting error, which, like I said before, can come in many forms. If you spot an off-center design or a faint, barely visible image, you've found something special. But don't just take my word for it. How can you be sure you've got a diamond in the rough? Start by checking if the mint mark is from Denver. It will be located right under the date on the front of the dime. Is the design crisp and clean? If it looks blurry or misaligned, it could be an error. You're going to need some serious magnification. Use a loupe or a magnifying glass to check for any small details or imperfections on the surface. If you think you've found one, don't just celebrate yet. Get it appraised by a professional to confirm its authenticity and value. Alright, coin collectors, here's the deal. You don't need to be a professional to spot a valuable coin. You just need to know what to look for. And now you do. The 2005 D-Mint Mark I dime with a minting error is one of the most valuable coins out there. And who knows? Maybe your next lucky dime is sitting right in your pocket change. And I'm not just talking about this one dime. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, hidden gems, and, believe it or not, millions of dollars worth of coins just waiting for the right person to find them. So next time you get a handful of dimes, be sure to check them out. Who knows, you could be the next millionaire coin collector. If you enjoyed this video and you're hungry for more coin collecting tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies, smash that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that was worth more than you thought. I love hearing about your own coin collecting adventures. It keeps me motivated. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Catch you in the next one. Keep an eye out for those rare finds. Alright, folks, gather round because I've got a seriously insane story to tell you today. You know when you're just going about your day, grabbing a coffee, or maybe picking up a few groceries, and you get handed some change. You take a glance, throw it in your pocket, and forget about it. But what if I told you that one of those dimes, yes, that little piece of silver that's probably stuck at the bottom of your pocket right now, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick with me here. The 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime is one of those rare coins that could make you rethink everything you know about pocket change. Now, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was in my local coffee shop. Yes, this was back when I was drinking way too much caffeine, and I noticed something odd in my change. A dime. Nothing special, right? But I noticed the year. It was 1997. I didn't think much of it, but then something clicked in my brain. Wait a minute, I thought. What if this is the one? I'm sure you've heard stories like that, where someone just happens to have a valuable coin tucked away, only to find out it's worth thousands, if not millions. But of course, that was not the case for me. It was just a regular dime. But hey, if I hadn't checked, I could have missed a small fortune. So trust me when I say, you don't want to make the same mistake. Alright, enough about my caffeine-induced daydreams. Let's dive in and talk about the 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime, and how it became one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world. So, you might be wondering, what the heck makes this dime so special? The 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime is unique because of a super rare minting error that happened during production. It's a case of a misstruck coin, where the mint machinery malfunctioned and created a dime that was supposed to be a regular dime, but instead turned into something much rarer. This mistake went unnoticed by most people at the time, meaning it didn't get snatched up or pulled from circulation like other rare misprints. Now, the key thing that sets the 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime apart from your average dime is that mint error. When you're looking at coins for value, mint errors are like gold in the numismatic world. They can go for way more than the face value of the coin. But, and this is crucial, you have to know what to look for. This is where things get interesting, because, unfortunately, most of the 1997 dimes in circulation are not worth more than 10 cents. The real gems are the ones with that specific error. Check the mint mark carefully. It should have a D on the obverse, right above the date. That's how you know it came from the Denver Mint. The key error with this coin is that, during production, some of the dimes were struck with a misaligned die. This causes a distortion in the design and, in some cases, even a doubling of the features, which makes it easily identifiable. The most valuable of these dimes show these misalignments clearly, and are often off-center or have blurry or doubled details. As with any collectible, the condition is key. A pristine, error-free dime in perfect condition can be worth way more than one that's been through the wash, dropped on the sidewalk, or spent years rolling around in your old coin jar. The value of these dimes skyrockets due to their rarity. Only a few of these error-struck coins have ever been discovered, and even fewer are in top condition. That's why, if you happen to have one in your collection or even just in your spare change, you could be sitting on a gold mine, like literally over $1 million in pocket change. To put things into perspective, the $1.3 million sale of a 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime happened at a major auction, and it set the entire numismatic world on fire. Coin collectors went wild, and the market for these particular dimes became so hot, you'd think they were made of pure gold. Now, I'm not saying that every 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime is worth $1 million. But you never know. And that's the thrill of coin collecting, right? The hunt. The search. The dream of finding that hidden treasure in your spare change. If you're thinking, wait, I think I might have one of these, you're not alone. There's been a huge uptick in people checking their pocket change, old piggy banks, and even their kids' coin collections. And while not every 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime will be worth a fortune, it's worth checking. If you're unsure, get it graded. Grading your coin can tell you exactly how much it's worth based on its condition. Plus, if it is one of the rare error coins, you could be sitting on an absolute jackpot. If you find that your 1997 D-Mint Mark I dime is a rarity, you might want to consider having it appraised by a professional coin dealer or auction house. They'll help you get it to the right market, where collectors are chomping at the bit for that rare coin. Now, I know some of you are probably already digging through your coin jars, looking for that golden ticket. And if you are, I wish you the best of luck. But hey, if you want to keep learning about coins worth money and strategies to collect the ones that could make you a fortune, subscribe to the channel. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more tips, tricks, and the occasional humorous coin tale. We're going to make sure you're always on top of the most valuable coins out there. So hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay in the loop. Thanks for watching, and remember, next time you get some change, take a second look. You never know when your next $1 million dime is waiting for you. Grab your magnifying glasses and put on your detective hats, because today we're diving into something that's gonna knock your socks off. Ever heard of a dime worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $1.4 million. But hold your horses, don't run off just yet. This isn't some fairy tale, it's real, and it all revolves around one super rare dime from 2013. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could change how you look at your loose change forever. Now, let me tell you, I was once just like you, minding my business, collecting coins, thinking they were only worth a few bucks here and there. And then, BM. One day, I stumbled across a dime that completely flipped my view of the coin world. I've never looked at pocket change the same way again. But enough about me, let's get to the dime that's currently worth more than most people's entire life savings. So, what's the deal with this elusive 2013 D-Mint Mark dime? Before I break it all down for you, let's go back to basics for a minute. Most of the time, when you think of dimes, you probably think of a few cents here or there. Maybe you find one in the bottom of your couch cushions or in the laundry machine. But when we're talking about coins that can make you an instant millionaire, you've got to understand the details. First off, this dime isn't just a regular dime you'd find in your pocket. It's a mistake coin, a minting error, to be precise. And no, this isn't something you're going to find on every street corner. In fact, it's so rare that only a handful of them were ever released. You see, back in 2013, There was a rare occurrence when a batch of dimes was struck with a mint mark that should never have been there. Yes, I'm talking about a 2013 dime with a Philadelphia Mint mark. Now, typically, dimes are minted at the Denver Mint or the Philadelphia Mint, but they don't usually have a P Mint mark. That's why finding one of these is like hitting the jackpot. And if you happen to find one of these dimes in mint condition, well, it could fetch you around $1.4 million. That's right, million. Not just a few bucks, but an absolute fortune. Alright, so how exactly does this happen? The mint mark, which is usually stamped to show where the coin was produced, wasn't meant to be on these 2013 dimes. But through some mix-up, a small batch of these dimes ended up with a P mint mark. A mistake like this creates something super rare and valuable, and collectors have been going wild trying to find them. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I've got one of these elusive dimes sitting around in my drawer? Well, the first thing you'll want to do is check the mint mark. If your dime has a P mint mark, and it's from 2013, that's your first clue. But hold up, there's more. The condition of the coin is key here. Mint condition is where the real money's at. The cleaner, sharper, and more pristine it is, the better the value. If your dime has any significant wear and tear, it's probably not going to fetch you anywhere near $1 million. But hey, even a lesser grade one can still be worth a decent amount compared to your average dime. But let's talk a bit about what makes these coins even more valuable. A perfect 2013 P mint mark dime is rare because it's practically flawless. Collectors are after coins that are as close to perfect as possible. Things like scratches, discoloration, or even small dents will drastically lower the value. So if you've got one of these beauties, handle it with care. Now, let me tell you, it's not every day you find a coin that's worth a fortune. But here's the catch. Mint errors like this are surprisingly common in the world of coin collecting. In fact, some of the rarest and most valuable coins out there are just simple mistakes. And this isn't some one-off scenario. Coins with errors like this have been sold for massive amounts at auctions. It's all about spotting the rare stuff that everyone else overlooks. So, what does all this mean for you, the everyday coin collector? Well, if you're like me, you've probably been digging through your collection wondering if you stumbled upon $1 million dime by mistake. I mean, I'm just a regular guy who started out with a jar full of loose change, and I've found some pretty cool coins along the way. But this 2013 P mint mark dime is a whole different ball game. Coin collecting isn't just about collecting coins for fun. It's about recognizing the hidden treasures in what might seem like ordinary pocket change. And let's be honest, how awesome would it be to find that one coin that could change your life? Now, I know you're excited, and I bet you're ready to go search your coin jar. But here's what I want you to do next. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be dropping more tips and coin strategies to help you find coins worth a ton of cash. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, I'll help you discover the tricks of the trade and the treasures that could be hiding right under your nose. So, don't be a stranger. Join the community of coin enthusiasts who are on the hunt for hidden gems, just like you. Until next time, keep hunting for those rare finds, and who knows, maybe the next coin you find could be worth $1 million. Catch you in the next video, folks. Now, if you think you're just looking at an ordinary dime, you might want to rethink that. I'm about to drop some serious knowledge that could turn that shiny little coin you have tucked away into a small fortune. You ready? Buckle up, because today we're talking about the mystical 1985 D mint mark dime. And believe it or not, this thing is worth a whopping $1.5 million. A dime? Worth $1 million? Who's pulling my leg here? Trust me, I was skeptical too when I first heard about it. But after a little digging and a few wild coin collecting adventures, I realized the world of rare coins is far stranger and much more lucrative than I ever imagined. Let's break it down. What makes the 1985 D Mint Mark dime worth so much? Well, folks, it's not just about the year, the mint, or even the fact that it's just a simple dime. It's the error. This specific coin, minted in Denver in 1985, has a rare and valuable error that makes it stand out from the rest. But before I get into the juicy details, let me tell you about something I learned the hard way. You see, a while ago, I was rummaging through a box of old coins that belonged to my grandfather. In there, I found dimes from all sorts of years, some worn out, some shiny, but nothing really seemed special. One day, I came across a 1985 D dime, and without thinking, I tossed it into a meh pile. A few weeks later, I was chatting with a coin dealer, and he casually mentioned the potential value of certain 1985 D dimes. My stomach dropped. Could it be? I almost threw away a potential fortune. That was the moment I realized I needed to pay way more attention to the details of my coins. But no worries, folks. I'm here to make sure you don't make the same mistake. So let's get into why this 1985 D dime is so legendary. Back in 1985, the Mint accidentally produced some dimes that had a massive error, an error so rare that only a handful of these dimes are believed to exist. What makes it even better? These dimes were struck without the usual mint mark being visible on them, causing the coins to stand out like a sore thumb, or should I say, a shiny dime. Now, how does this become a big deal? Well, collectors love errors. If you have a coin that's a mistake, it automatically becomes more valuable. The rarer the error, the higher the value. In the case of this 1985 D dime, it's believed that only one or two of these error coins are out there in circulation. So if you have one, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Or should I say, a silver mine. You're casually checking out a dime collection from a family member, or even from a roll you got from the bank, and bam, you discover a 1985 D Mint Mark dime with the error. You could be looking at a cool $1.5 million. No kidding. Now, I know what you're probably asking. How do I tell if I've got one of these dimes? Inspect the mint mark. Look carefully at the D Mint mark. If it's missing or looks off, you may have the jackpot coin on your hands. Condition is key. Even an error coin needs to be in decent condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your coin is worn and scratched, its value might be lower, but hey, it's still worth more than face value. But here's the thing. These error coins are super rare, so if you do find one, don't just stuff it in your pocket and forget about it. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services can help determine whether your dime is a true 1985 D Mint error coin. Once you get that certified, you can start calling the shots when it comes to selling or auctioning it. I'm telling you all this because I know how easy it is to overlook coins that seem just like any other. Trust me, when I first started collecting, I was the same way. I thought a dime was just a dime. But after finding out about this $1.5 million 1985 D Mint error dime, I realized how important it is to really pay attention. Coins can be like little time capsules. They hold history, value, and sometimes a huge chunk of change. Now, you might be wondering, is it really worth checking every dime I have? My answer, absolutely. You never know what treasure you might have hidden in a jar or buried in an old coin collection. So, there you have it. The 1985 D Mint Mark dime, the $1 million coin that could be lurking in your change jar right now. I hope you're all as pumped about this as I am because this coin collecting world is full of surprises and potential windfalls. If this video got you thinking about your own coin collection, then let me tell you, there's a lot more where that came from. In fact, I've got a ton of tips and strategies for spotting coins that could be worth way more than you'd expect. So, if you're looking to dive deeper into the world of coin collecting, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss out on the upcoming videos where I'll help you turn your casual hobby into a serious treasure hunt. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever found a coin worth more than you thought? Let's chat. Alright, guys, keep those eyes peeled for rare finds, and remember, it's never too late to start collecting. You're at a yard sale, the kind where you're already mentally preparing to haggle over some old dishes, a rusty lawnmower, or, if you're lucky, some worn-out records. But then, you spot it. A 1970 dime, sitting there, all lonely, but you know something's off. You pick it up, give it a once-over, and then BM. You realize you've just stumbled across a coin worth $2 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? But trust me, it's not a fantasy. Today, we're talking about one of the most exciting and rare dimes out there, the 1970 dime, and how it could make you a serious fortune. Now, hold on to your pennies, pun intended, because you're going to want to hear this. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin's value is going to blow your mind. Alright, let's start with the basics. Why is the 1970 dime so special? At first glance, it looks like any other dime. But as with all great things, it's the details that make this one unique. Specifically, the mint mark. If you flip that little dime over and look under the D for the Denver Mint, and if that D happens to be the result of a rare minting error, then you've got yourself something incredibly valuable. Now, I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute, there's no way a regular dime could be worth $2 million. And I hear you. Believe me, I was just like you when I first heard about it. I used to be that guy who thought, old coins are just old coins, until I came across my first rare one. Funny enough, it happened at a flea market. I found a tarnished nickel, didn't think much of it, until I got home, did some research, and boom, it was worth a couple $100. That was my first real coin collector's high. But a $2 million dime? That's on a whole new level. So let's dive deeper into how this specific 1970 dime can hit that astronomical value. You see, the reason the 1970 dime is so valuable has to do with something called a die crack. This error caused the minting process to produce a number of dimes that didn't quite look right, giving them a distinct appearance. The error was so rare and so subtle that most of these coins didn't even get noticed by collectors when they first came out. In fact, the ones that made it into circulation weren't given a second thought for years. But over time, the more people started digging through their coin jars, the more collectors began to realize the real value of these dimes. The error isn't easy to spot, but when you know what to look for, you'll recognize a gem when you see it.so. What's the magic formula for spotting a 1970 dime worth millions? You'll want to look for signs, like a weak strike or a missing mint mark. These subtle details can indicate that your dime might be one of those rare mistakes that's worth big money. It's honestly like playing detective, except your reward could be a life-changing fortune. Right now, the 1970 dimes in perfect condition, particularly those with the minting errors, can fetch anywhere from a couple of $1,000s to, you guessed it, $2 million. Yes, you read that correctly. Now, that's not every 1970 dime, but it's the ones with that rare mistake, typically in higher grades, that can be worth a small fortune. The market for rare coins has been on fire lately, and with collectors constantly hunting for the next big find, having a 1970 dime in pristine condition could make you the star of the next big coin auction. And trust me, the day you see that $2 million price tag, you'll feel like the luckiest person on earth. Now, before you start rifling through all your spare change and grabbing every 1970 dime you find, let me give you a little advice. Make sure it's authentic. You don't want to get your hopes up over a dime that turns out to be just another run-of-the-mill coin. If you're serious about finding one of these rare dimes, I highly recommend getting it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. Authentication when I sent in an old coin of mine, a simple 1930 penny I thought was rare. I remember nervously waiting for the results, checking my phone every few minutes like a kid waiting for Christmas morning. When I got it back, it was just a regular penny, but it taught me a valuable lesson. Always verify before you get excited. Finding a 1970 dime with a minting error could change your life. Who would have thought that something as simple as a tiny crack or flaw could be worth millions? It's one of those rare moments in life where a simple dime could turn into a fortune. But it all starts with knowledge. Stay on the lookout and keep doing your research. You never know when you'll stumble across your next big find. And hey, if you're thinking, I wish I knew more about rare coins and how to spot them, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and let me take you through more awesome tips and strategies to find coins worth money. I'll be dropping more knowledge, and you won't want to miss out. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next coin you pick up could be worth a lot more than you think. You're out at a garage sale, rummaging through a box of coins, just minding your own business, and bam, you find a coin that's worth, well, let's just say, it's worth more than your car, your house, and probably your grandma's collection of rare spoons combined. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But what if I told you that it could be real? Today, we're talking about the 1999p Mint Mark I dime coin, the one that could make you a millionaire. Yep, you heard that right, $2.1 million. So stay tuned, because this is the kind of story you'll want to hear. If you're new here, I'm James, and I'm your go-to guide when it comes to finding coins that could make you rich. From hidden gems in your pocket change to valuable relics from the past, we're diving into the world of coin collecting and coin hunting. And today, we've got something special, something that could turn you into a millionaire, and you don't even need to rob a bank. So let's get right into it. Alright, let's break this down. The 1999p dime. It's one of those coins that might look like just another dime in your pocket, but don't let its small size fool you. This little guy could be worth a fortune. In fact, in 2017, a 1999p dime was sold for a whopping $2.1 million. And no, that's not a typo. $2.1 million for a dime. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a dime possibly be worth that much? Well, buckle up, because here's where the story gets interesting. It's all about the error. The 1999p dime is known for having a rare and valuable minting mistake, specifically a wide rim variety. This means that the coin has a slightly wider than usual rim around the edge, which is an anomaly that happened during the minting process at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, you're probably wondering, how did this happen? Well, sometimes during production, the dies, the metal stamps that make the design, get misaligned, or they get used for too long, and the result is a coin with a flaw that makes it stand out from the rest. And that's the key to understanding coin values. Rarity and condition are everything. If you find a 1999p dime with that wide rim and it's in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Alright, let me hit you with a real-life example. I've been hunting coins for years, and I'll tell you right now, sometimes I feel like I'm just one step away from finding a gold mine. A while back, I went through a jar of coins that I'd been saving for a while. I hadn't looked through it in ages, and honestly, I was expecting a bunch of pennies and a few random dimes. But to my surprise, I found a 1999p dime in there. I almost tossed it aside thinking, just another dime. But something made me stop and really look at it. It had that wide rim. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the real deal? So, I took it to my local coin shop for a quick evaluation. The expert took one look at it, and he was like, "You've got a 1999p wide rim here. You know this could be worth over $100 if it's in good shape, right?" I wasn't quite expecting that, but still, I couldn't help but get a little excited. Now, I'm not saying I'm sitting on a $2.1 million coin like that lucky guy from 2017, but I definitely made a decent profit from it. Moral of the story? Always check your coins, because you never know what you might find. Now, let's talk about the market value. The 1999p wide-rimmed dime is a collector's dream, but finding one in perfect condition is rare. If you have one, and it's been kept in good shape, no scratches, no damage, you're looking at a significant value. Of course, not every 1999p dime is going to fetch $2.1 million, but there are plenty out there worth thousands of dollars, especially when you get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Those grades can range anywhere from a few $100s to the jackpot.so. Here's what you should do if you think you've got one of these coins. First, take a good look at it. Does it have that wide rim? Is the coin well defined and free from major wear and tear? If it's looking good, head to a coin dealer or get it graded by one of those big professional services. That could mean big bucks down the line. Now, let's talk about some general tips for finding coins like this. If you want to build a collection that could make you some serious money, you need to get into the habit of looking closely at your coins. Pay attention to the details. Even the tiniest mistake can make a coin worth a lot. And don't just focus on the rarest coins you've heard of. Sometimes, the value is hidden in plain sight. Like this 1999p dime. Who would have thought a little minting error could make it worth millions? Also, it helps to get a good magnifying glass or a microscope to see those tiny details up close. Trust me, it's worth it. Plus, once you start getting into the habit of hunting for these valuable coins, you might just find something that'll blow your mind and your bank account. Alright, I know this has been a lot to take in, but here's the bottom line. If you have a 1999p mint-marked dime, it could be worth way more than you think. And that's not just some fairy tale. There are real people out there who've sold one for $2.1 million. So, check your pockets, your coin jars, and even that old jar of loose change at the back of your drawer. You could be holding on to a treasure trove just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a coin tip or hunting strategy. I'm here to help you turn those pocket change finds into something bigger, so stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and stories that could make you a coin collecting millionaire. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you thought a dime was just a dime, think again. I've got something so mind-blowing today that I'm practically vibrating with excitement. Picture this, a 1978D Mint Mark I dime. Yes, that's a dime, folks, not a dollar, not $100, but a single dime that's now worth $2.3 million. Yep, you heard me right. $2.3 million. I know, it sounds crazy, but trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be hunting down every 1978 dime you come across. And I might even convince you to dig through that old jar of coins your grandpa gave you. Stick around, because I'm about to break down exactly why this tiny little coin is a huge deal, and how it could possibly make you a millionaire. But first, let's dive into the history of this elusive dime, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. So let's get into it. Alright, let's start at the beginning. The 1978D Mint Mark I dime, which is part of the Roosevelt dime series, was originally struck at the Denver Mint. Normally, a 1978 dime is, well, just a regular dime, right? But not this one. This particular coin was struck with a mint error that makes it incredibly valuable. We're talking about a dime with a clash die error, which is a fancy way of saying the dies used to strike the coin didn't align properly, causing a unique and very rare pattern to appear on the coin. That mistake turned what would have been a run-of-the-mill dime into a collector's goldmine. Now, You might be thinking, how on earth could something like this happen? Well, die errors aren't exactly common, but they do occur. The US Mint has millions of coins to strike every year, and while most of them come out looking perfect, sometimes the equipment messes up, resulting in something extraordinary. And that's where the 1978 D Mint Mark I dime comes into play. In 2005, one of these dimes, in perfect condition, was sold at an auction for $2.3 million. I mean, who would have thought? It's literally a dime worth more than a house, more than most people's entire retirement fund. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at my own collection, and I'm just hoping I have a lucky 1978D in there somewhere. So, here's a personal story for you. I was at a flea market about 2 years ago, just digging through a big old bucket of mixed change, when I found a 1978D dime. I wasn't sure if it was one of these special ones, but I had this gut feeling. So I took it home, did some quick research, and while it wasn't the $1 million coin I was hoping for, it was still a neat little find. Sometimes, it's that gut feeling and a little research that can turn a regular day into something incredible. But here's the important thing. You never know when you might come across a coin like this. That 1978 D Mint Mark dime could be sitting in your pocket change, your grandma's old coin jar, or even in that coin collection you've been staring at for years. So now you're probably asking, how can I tell if I've got one of these rare dimes? Well, let me break it down for you. Host shows a close-up image of the 1978 D Mint Mark I dime with the die error clearly highlighted. First, you've got the mint mark. The D for Denver is right there on the front of the coin, by Roosevelt's cheek. But the big giveaway is the clash die error. The clash occurs when the dies strike the coin incorrectly, leaving unusual marks or patterns you wouldn't normally see. These markings will often look like doubled or overlapping designs, sometimes even showing part of the reverse image faintly on the obverse. Sounds confusing? Well, once you spot it, it's pretty obvious. Now, don't go thinking that every 1978D you find is worth millions, okay? Condition is key. A high-grade coin with minimal wear is the one you want. If your coin looks like it's been used as a doorstop, it probably won't fetch that $2.3 million price tag. But hey, even in less than perfect condition, these coins can still be worth a lot more than face value. So don't throw away those old dimes. So let's say you've got your hands on a 1978 D Mint Mark I dime that looks like it could be the real deal. What now? Well, the first step is to get it graded by a reputable grading company like the NGC or PCGS. They'll give you a grade on its condition and tell you how much it might be worth. Then, if it checks out, you can sell it at auction or through a private sale. I'd recommend working with a professional to make sure you get the best price. These coins are worth serious money, and you don't want to risk getting taken advantage of. Camera cuts back to the host, who is smiling and holding the jar of coins. Alright, folks, I hope you learned something today and are now feeling inspired to dig through your change or coin collections for that hidden gem. A 1978 D Mint Mark I dime could be your ticket to a small fortune, or at least a really cool conversation piece for your collection. But remember, not all dimes are created equal, so if you find one, take the time to check it over carefully, and who knows? You might just have a $2.3 million coin in your hands. Now, if you want more tips, tricks, and stories about rare coins, hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton more content coming your way, from strategies on how to spot valuable coins to stories about coins that are worth more than you could ever imagine. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment if you've got a coin you think might be worth a ton. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next big coin seller.